back.
Oh, but see, but I'm a slave to AE, and that was
Oh
his
wait,
request.
Godless can just change it right back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and change it, but then send Gigi a message. You're giving her a heads up.
Oh, so I heard that you were talking about changing your name back. So it's really getting under her skin. Where'd she go? Fiction fighter. Yeah, Molly. Krillism, you can ask him, said that I have control over people's nicknames, and after I leave the server, you can change it back. But as soon as I request for them to be changed back, but you're supposed to do it.
Okay.
You told the monster. Yeah, so please change her name back to nurse's assistant.
Okay.
And fiction fighter, I'm glad that I know now that it really bothers you. I was hoping it does because you deserve to really be bothered by that. You're a fucking nurse's assistant, and that's gonna be your name, bitch. Change her name back, please.
Okay.
Thank you. To Molly in private message. What a fucking pussy.
I'm not gonna lie, a nurse's job, like a starting nurse, like you did the minimum requirement to become a nurse, that's still a shitty job. Not gonna lie, my sister is a nurse and she's working the graveyard shift and it's just horrible.
Oh, I'm a nurse. And Layla's a nurse.
I thought they get paid pretty well.
I mean, here's the benefits of becoming a nurse, right? Is that you can practically get it, like, your job security is like on check, like you can get a job.
Oh yeah, you can get a job anywhere.
Anywhere, right? It's open. It's an open market, right?
All right, Gigi.
But it's the fact that it's a shitty job, right? You're wiping old people's assholes, right?
I thought the stereotype was that nurses were there to mostly try to snap up the single doctors.
Oh no.
Quit.
No, Ratson, they're wiping old people's assholes and they're taking care of like all the diarrhea shit that they're taking care of, right? They're doing oral checkups.
Right, that's if they fail to secure an MD.
Right. So what you really want is to become a surgeon. A surgeon only has to work like a couple hours, even a year, right? Oh, nurse assistant. Please, oh, really? Please tell me how well your job is, nurse.
Leela knows, because Leela lives in Canada, and Leela knows what her duties are, because Leela's about to become a nurse, and she knows what a nurse's assistant's duties are.
Because guess what, Fiction Fighter, there's another thing, since you're in Canada, it must be cold as shit when you drive to fucking work.
Listen to this girl, she's been a nurse's assistant for 20 years. She's so fucking stupid. She thought that nurses could write prescriptions for medications. She thought nurses could prescribe medications. She doesn't know the difference between a fucking nurse practitioner, which practically is a doctor, and a fucking regular LPN. She's so stupid.
Right, now here's the thing, Fiction Fighter. You say you have like, what is that, a 20 degrees in nursing? Right. So let's say you have 20 years experience. I can have a better life in a 20 years experience in the military than I can have studying fucking nursing, right? Like, Molly, how long have you been in the military, Molly?
She's retired.
Right, but I just want to ask her like how long she's been in the military and how much she's accomplished. You know,
She's probably AFK, but she's top tier. We'll just put it that way.
Right, she's top tier and she's accomplished way more than a nurse has, right? She's like her span is affecting like other nations rather than just a fucking wiping an old man's asshole, right? Like she's actually helping out, you know, other nations. She's providing them with. I mean, this can be like an infantry army, right? I'm not sure what rank she is, or if she's an officer, right?
Yeah,
she most likely deployed in South Africa, where she's just giving out water bottles to little kids, right?
No, Molly's done some pretty important shit with her military career as a nurse.
Right. So I'm just saying, your 20 years, your so-called 20 years as a fucking nurse, not gonna lie, kind of a fucking waste, right? I can achieve more in the military than what you've done if a nurse. If I decided to become a nurse. But don't toot your horn too loud. Here, oh, she's in here. Friction fighter, don't toot your horn, saying that 20 years in a nursing career is fucking getting you anywhere. Sure, you're helping people, but I can achieve more in a military
it's kept
career.
me fucking employed, alright? And it's given me a purpose in my life, and I think I'm doing pretty good every day. I mean, I do help people, don't forget that. Every day, and I risk my life sometimes to help the people that I help. So don't fucking downplay what we do. A lot of what we do goes very unappreciated too, by the way, by people like such as yourself. Obviously, what you're promoting.
You want to know what else is really underappreciated? Artists.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people. You know what? I don't disagree. A lot of people go unappreciated, and that's pretty sad. I know. No, Gigi, I didn't come here to argue with you again. I came to have a normal discussion with people who don't feel like they have to, go around like you do.
I'm talking to other people.
Fine, go ahead, talk to other people, but I don't want to talk to you.
Nurse's assistant has called me a liar on multiple occasions, but she's
Thank
never
you,
been
Molly.
anything, but I
Thank
like
you,
her.
Molly.
But anyway,
I bow to you, girl.
nobody ever said nurses' assistants don't work hard. Anyway, so did you guys hear me just say how she thought that nurses prescribe medication?
No, you know what? If you go listen to the video again, you will hear me say some nurses, and I was referring to nurses practitioners, which Lita mentioned afterwards. So don't fucking lie again and twist it again, Gigi. That's just what you always do.
Excuse me. Can I speak, please? When I'm done speaking, I won't interrupt you. Okay.
You are such a liar.
Oh, sorry.
Excuse me, can I finish, please?
To be fair, you didn't interrupt her, sorry.
So if she wants to go ahead and finish, then I'll take my turn uninterrupted. So go ahead, I won't interrupt her.
I already said what I had to say.
You said some nurses can prescribe.
I clearly said some in the video, yes. If you listen again, because I listened to it, what I recorded, and also what Bacon Bone recorded, and I clearly said some, and then they jumped all over it because all they heard me say was nurses, and I said some, very clearly.
We should go on working with you saying some in this case.
Can I speak now, please? Can I respond?
Yes, of course. Now,
So
Gigi.
you guys all hear her claim, right? She said it just now, and she also said it in text. Listen to what I said in the video again, Gigi. I clearly said some. Now I actually just went and listened to the video. Very quickly I found the spot. At 11 minutes and 16 seconds, if you listen, she clearly does not say some. I will post the link to the video right here, right now. Everybody can go listen to it right now and hear that she did not say some.
Yes, I
She's
did. You
fucking
just didn't
lying.
hear it.
Go listen to the video. Go listen.
You
Everybody
just
go
didn't hear it.
please.
I bet you some people will
11
hear it,
minutes-
because I heard
11
it.
minutes and 16 seconds. 11 minutes and 16 seconds. Please go listen to it. Please go listen to it. She's fucking lying.
Okay, well...
It'll take you 5 seconds for you to hear her say that rules in Canada have changed and now nurses can prescribe medication.
I said some nurses can prescribe medications.
Listen to the video.
Some,
Listen to the video.
Gigi, some.
10 minutes and 16 seconds. Listen to it for 5 seconds and you'll hear her say it. She's a fucking liar. Now she's destroyed again. Again, you are destroyed by me. Every fucking encounter we have.
Again and again. No, I said some.
And again.
If you
Listen,
listen to
go
the
listen
whole
to the video.
video, I said some, and I didn't pay attention when I said it. But if you listen to the whole video instead of just that part that Gigi obviously pointed out, because everything was heated, so maybe at one point I said nurses, and at that point, but I did say at the beginning, the very first time I said it, I said some. If you listen to my video, I said some the first
She
time.
clearly says some as her mic kicks in. It's definitely quieter than the rest of what you said, but it's there.
Thank you, Pickle. Thank
Go
you.
listen to it again. I'll be right back.
I've been in the situation. You can hear it, definitely.
And
But
I
it's
wouldn't
not as
stress
loud as
it.
whatever else you were saying.
And I wouldn't stress it unless I was 100% sure, because I listened to the video several times since it went down, and I know I said some, so that's why I'm very confident
Alright,
when
so
I
I'd say
say
we carry on with her just saying some, because that is a true statement. Some nurses can prescribe.
Right.
And then when
Which are
she's
called
done with her,
nurses
I'd
practitioners.
like to...
And when Leela mentioned it, I didn't come back and argue because she was correct.
And then when you guys are done, I'd like to talk to nurse assistant so you guys can continue, and then I'll talk to her afterwards.
All right, thank you, bro.
But
Look, and
I
even
would like to
after
I would like to have a
remote-
calm exchange from now on with people because it's late at night and I have somebody that lives upstairs and I don't want to keep them up because she's had a couple heart attacks and I don't want to be the cause of that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We should
Is
be
she
able to keep
fat?
this orderly.
Should she kill herself?
No.
Well, we can probably keep this orderly if we continue going with this.
Yes.
Fiction fighter.
Now, Barn, you said you wanted to say something?
What?
Nurse's assistant. I'm curious about your conversation where somebody heard you say that fat people should kill themselves.
No, I
What
didn't.
was that about?
I didn't say fat people should kill them. I've never said that.
The
What
fat
was it that you said?
Well, think about it.
I never said fat. There's fat people and there's morbidly obese people who don't have a quality of life. There's a big difference.
You didn't say the quality of life part. She said morbidly obese people.
Oh,
should
for
want to
fuck's
be
sakes,
assessed.
God, let's get off your fucking stupid horse. I just proved you wrong
Well,
once. Do you want to keep
look,
going? You really want to keep going on this?
To be fair, you are calling her out on very small things here. It's kind of
Well,
slowing down what we're talking about.
It's
Who
not
did not?
small if it's consequential.
Who the fuck is this
Dude.
pickle? Who the fuck is this guy?
Well, I'm just saying you guys are taking a long
I
Who
don't
the
know.
fuck is
about
this?
Oh, look
some or
out,
not.
Pickle.
don't
You're going
know.
to be in her sights now because you're agreeing with me.
Well, I know. That's why they call
Sorry,
me-
Pickle. I apologize in advance,
Pickle, you
Pickle.
wanna step up to me, bitch?
What do you want me to talk about?
She definitely doesn't want anybody to agree with me. That's what sends her right off the rails.
Why is anybody listening
Okay.
with?
You guys keep asking. I'm just a guy named
Who the fuck is
Pickle.
this?
I'm Pickle.
I
What?
don't know who he
I'm
is.
saying who? I'm just a guy on Discord. What do you want? You can ask me questions if you want. I don't know, but like you keep asking who. I'm pretty sure everyone will just say I'm Pickle. That's all they know.
Yeah, but the thing is that you're new. Like, why are
I'm
we?
not. No, I've been here for a while. No, they call me the White Knight 'cause I step in when people are acting too rowdy.
I've never seen this guy around here before this
Alright.
weekend. Have you
I
guys?
appreciate you,
yeah,
Pickle.
I've
I've seen him
Never heard him
before.
talk. I've seen him logged in. But I suppose the question isn't minutia if it's consequential her position as a nurse's assistant, right? So that's why I'm asking.
She
Nurse's assistant, what's the deal with this? Like, are you,
Can you call
You
me
think that
Fiction
people
Fighter?
who
Because
are-
that's my real name on here, okay? It's not Nurse's Assistant. It's Fiction Fighter.
I said
Please.
love her so much. You are a nurse.
Because I
prefer
prefer Fiction Fighter because that's the name I gave myself, all right? That's
Are
why.
you ashamed to be a nurse's assistant?
It's a
Okay, don't
point.
imply that. You guys are slowing this down. You can change your name or something and then
Pickle,
continue
I'm
talking.
sorry. Are you saying don't imply that she is what she is? You're a fucking
No.
idiot. Shut
Oh,
the fuck
okay,
up and
obvious-
sit the fuck down.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean. Like, don't start
Okay,
throwing around on the
what?
small stuff. You're just saying, what? Are you ashamed of being a nurse's assistant? Obviously, she's not. It's what she does. What?
Yeah, it's part of my
Why-
job.
okay,
It's part of what my job is.
Let me deal with
It's only
Pickle.
part
Let
of
me
what
take
my
this
job is,
motherfucker down.
GG.
Let
That's the
me
point.
take this motherfucker
That's the
down.
point. And
Let me take
and
this
you know
down.
what?
Let me take
That's
this
not
down,
what I
bitch.
named myself to come. When I come here,
Okay.
I have a
hey,
right to
hey,
have
Pickle.
my name.
Fiction fighter. One
Yeah.
sec. Let her talk. What's up, Gigi?
Yeah, so you're saying that she's not ashamed of being a nurse's assistant, then why the fuck does she have, why is she whining to people in private message and keep messaging the mods to get her name changed back? Coming here whining, fucking following me up into the server
Well, I
to
mean-
make sure I'm not.
If you guys named me White Knight instead of Pickle, I would rather be Pickle because that's what I go by on everything. Right? Don't you have a name you like to use online? You're calling her by her occupation, and if she doesn't want to be called by that, she shouldn't really have to. I mean, we are all on Discord because of the names we have here.
Why is it
Yeah,
bothering
because
her?
I don't want to go into talking about my job all the fucking time. Can you not understand
Well,
that,
like, what if you
GG?
were referring to, like, hey, plumber. Hey, what's up, plumber? Like, how's it going, plumber? Like, what if he has a name like, I don't know, this Lucky 7 Wolfen guy? Like, I'll just call him Lucky or Wolf. But,
well,
like,
there's a
Oh yeah,
reason
I
why
forgot. Gigi's
she's
favorite name is
nurse's
Welfare
assistant,
Leech.
right?
So maybe we should all call you
Because
Welfare
it-
Leech, eh,
It
GG?
does bother her.
I renamed myself to Godless Welfare
Welfare
Queen.
Leech. Welfare Leech.
My name for over a week was Godless Welfare Queen, and I named myself that. You're so dumb.
okay, you get, yeah, anyway, never mind.
I'm just gonna call
Yeah,
you
well,
Welfare
well-
Leech until I get my name back. Okay? Are you okay with that, GG? Welfare Leech.
Here?
Are you okay with that? Yeah, because you also clearly stated you don't want to have a job ever. So, yeah. We'll just call you the Welfare
I
Leech.
renamed myself Welfare Leech. Are you happy? don't care if you call me that.
Good. And that's what I'll call you from now
You
on.
look so dumb right now.
Welfare leech. Miss, I don't ever have to work or don't ever want to have a job. I'd rather have welfare.
I don't.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't.
Welfare leech. Good.
Well, that's pretty
Good.
smart. I mean, if you are into that lifestyle.
Wait,
I definitely don't want to pay for it.
fiction fighter, what's wrong with her not wanting to have a job?
There's a lot wrong with that, don't you think? Come on. What if everybody decided to do that? What if everybody decided to leech off the welfare system?
Look,
Hmm? Willingly.
I'm not making the case that everybody should not want to work. I'm asking you what you think is wrong with her.
Well,
wanting
you know what? I've
to
worked
have
all
a
my
job.
fucking life since I was a kid. You know, like since I was a
Okay,
kid,
what
I've
does
worked
that-
all my fucking life. All right. So,
I'm asking
so
about
I come from
Gigi,
I come
right?
from a place where you work and you get to eat. You know what I mean? That's where I come from.
Well, bitch, I get to eat lobster and I don't have to work.
That's cheating. But that sounds cool. That's a cool lifestyle for you.
Would you rather not work, fiction fighter?
No, I love working. It makes me feel important. It makes me feel useful. It makes me feel productive. It makes me feel like I'm helping somebody. You know, I'm always helping people. So it makes me feel good.
That's what we'll get into when you talk to me, okay?
All right.
I'll let you finish.
All right.
Go ahead, Barn, if you have some points. I mean, I don't really have anything to say to this woman.
So, Fiction Fighter, do you know what a prestige score is?
A prestige score?
Yes, do you know what a prestige score is?
I'm guessing it's, level of where you are in the social scheme of things.
Higher.
Yes, it's a hierarchy. It's a sociology thing, right?
Right.
Right. So, do you think a person in the military can achieve more than you can in your 20 years of experience? Do you think in the military can...
Why does it matter? Why are we even discussing this? Why does it even matter?
You say you work hard, right?
Yeah, I
You say
do.
you work hard.
I work fucking hard all my life. I've worked hard all my
Right.
life.
About expanding, Fiction Fighter? Do you ever think about going back to school and going on a higher degree? Or do you still want to continue working at that assistant nurse?
What's wrong with what I do? What's wrong with what I do?
Why not just become a nurse?
What's wrong with what I
Why
fucking
not
do?
become a nurse?
Maybe I don't want that that level of responsibility. Maybe
So
there's
you
some things I
can't-
don't agree with in the nursing field. Maybe there's things I could have been a doctor, but I don't want to work in that field.
So you're not responsible enough, okay. We'll take that
Can
as your
I,
reason.
can I ask her a question? Excuse me, nurse. Or fiction.
That took
Oh,
shorter than...
here's another excuse I could use. I could say, well, I can't really afford the education that allows that kind of role in society.
You do know America has a multiple options.
I don't live in America. I live in Canada.
Right.
It has multiple options as well.
Sure.
May I
Also,
ask you something, nurse?
I mean, you're not in South Africa, right, where you don't have no options at all, right? You can still have... You choose not to use it.
I'm not gonna get into my personal reasons and stuff. I have personal reasons I don't want to get into.
For not having money when you can't even afford a higher education.
Well, at least she's trying, though. I mean, she is working. Unless you're not trying. Wait, are you happy, nurse?
I have
I
I
she's
have
have
more
more
than
than
full-time hours, so yeah.
Nurse. Are you happy?
Oh.
No,
Don't
I
ask
can't
for
say
it.
I'm 100% happy. No.
Do you think that you would be happier, more fulfilled if you pursued a higher degree? Do you believe that has an impact, or
I don't know.
or if it would have an impact, maybe?
Maybe I'd be a little happier, but I'd be in huge
Well,
debt.
The thing is, nurse, right? This is what I wanted
I
to
don't
get
I don't
into.
I don't really
So
like
if you
debt.
wanted-
I don't like debt.
Fiction Fighter. If you wanted to get into a degree, right? This is why the prestige score becomes important, right? So let's say
Yeah,
you're
but I
going to
don't
become
listen.
a
Hold on,
man-
stop, Barn. I don't really
Right.
care about that. Okay, I found my niche in society, so I don't really feel like I need to, spend more money to get a degree in something that won't necessarily
then
guarantee me
It's this
ultimate
Fiction
happiness.
Fighter.
What?
Let me ask this final question for you. Do you find passion old man's butthole? Do you find passion in doing?
Why are you trying to be so condescending, Barn? What the fuck kind of question is that? That's not all I
Seriously.
fucking do.
Do you find passion in all the shitty things you do?
That's not
She cleans
all I
up urine,
fucking
too. She
do,
cleans up urine, too.
idiot.
Vomit.
It's part of the job, right? I mean,
It's just part of it. Yeah, it's a
job.
very small part of it actually. What I
it's just
do
like
every day.
the job. It's not like your job is to clean.
All the oral work, right?
Yeah, so the thing is, right? You're inviting this on yourself, Fiction Fighter.
How?
By just continuing to fucking beef with Godless, right?
I think
Everybody
we're
in the
both.
server's
You know
gonna
what? It takes
fucking
two
side
to
with
tango
Godless.
there, Michael.
Oh,
So don't put all the
everybody-
fucking blame on
listen,
me.
Listen.
No, it
I'm-
takes
listen,
two
I'm
to
not done with my
tango.
point.
Remember
Listen, I'm
that.
not done with my point, right? Everybody in the server, I mean, you know everybody in the server, right? You're not stupid. Everybody in the server is going to side with Godless. This is how it's going to go. But you keep pecking at her from the
Bullshit.
fucking
Not
chat,
everybody
and
does.
both the
Whoa.
text
Who do
chat
you mean
and
by
the voice
everybody?
chat.
You mean just people that are on her side?
People that
Just
matter.
people who
right?
don't even
people that
fucking know
matter
me.
in this fucking server are going to side with Godless.
Whatever.
This is how it is.
Yeah,
your
whatever.
attitude has been fucking shitty towards one of our friends, right? That's obviously people are gonna fuck. And the thing is, she doesn't even need us.
So there you go.
Like, she
Group
could
think.
fucking just-
You're claiming group
listen,
think. There
listen,
you
I'm not done
go.
with my-
Wait.
I'm not gonna interrupt your fucking point, right? If you're talking, don't interrupt mine. Look, Godless is one of our friends, right? She doesn't fucking need us to have this. She could toy with you in a corner for hours and hours and hours to her delight, to her heart's delight, right? But nobody's. This isn't.
Yeah,
making
AE, they're
anybody
talking about
fucking
me.
like you more. Okay, I guess you're just gonna keep interrupting. Nobody's gonna
You guys
fucking
are
like you more if you keep pecking at her in the voice chat and from the fucking text chat.
And you think you're gaining popularity and likability by constantly attacking me in a fucking
Who said
horde
this
of
was about
people?
popularity?
Huh?
Jesus Christ, this girl.
No, that's not the case. Miss, before you go further
I
down
have
that
to
path,
say
that's not it.
something right quick, please, if I might, since my mic went back to working. I just came in on this last part where you were talking about cleaning up vomit and shit and whatnot. I don't know what it's in reference to, but I have cleaned up my fair share of blood, piss, shit.
Mhm.
So I don't know what that was in reference to, but I do want to clarify that I have cleaned up things that would make most people vomit.
Yeah, Molly, they're trying to say that's all I do in my job every day. That's all I fucking do. That I have my nose up people's ass, like fuck, cleaning the shit and everything.
well,
That's not all I
saying
fucking
that,
do. There's
Fiction
so much
Fighter.
more to my job than that.
No, well,
Listen.
I've had my nose up a fair amount of asses myself, so I can't,
Like, do you think, Fiction Fighter, that it would be going down like this if you weren't fucking antagonizing Godless in the voice and text chat? But that's what you do. You just snipe from the fucking text chat.
Oh, you're using
Why?
the exact
Why do
words.
you do
See,
that?
you're just parroting her. That's all you're doing. Like a
What?
fucking
I'm
bitch.
not-
No,
You're
no,
just a
it's
bitch,
not.
Michael,
It's
just like her
Fiction Fighter.
boyfriend.
No, that's not
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
Who's
Fiction
my
Fighter.
boyfriend? Wait, I'm curious.
You
Who's
too,
my
She was the
Lauren.
one that said that.
Both of you. You're just being her
No,
bitch.
that's
Don't you see that?
Fiction Fighter. That's not what we're talking about here, right?
Just like her
boyfriend?
boyfriend
talk
Josh.
with each
How,
other.
how's that feel, huh?
My boyfriend,
No.
Josh?
No, her boyfriend
Fiction
Josh.
Fighter.
Let's assume that.
This woman is really confused if she thinks Josh and I are dating.
No.
No,
Here-
I
here's
didn't
the
say
thing,
that. You
Fiction
didn't listen.
Fighter.
Didn't she just commit the genetic fallacy? I mean,
You
what-
didn't
what
fucking
matter
listen.
where-
I accused you of being like her
It doesn't
boyfriend,
matter.
letting her come on here and bitch at everybody and put people
see,
down.
excuse me, nurse. If you
Let's
talk
just-
over people, it's not gonna go right for you. So try to wait your turn. You should go like or from
Yeah,
top
but
to
I-
bottom, I guess.
Pickle, you gotta understand.
Right.
There's like several people here that I'm
Can I
responding
speak,
to,
please?
and
Have a
they're
turn,
interrupting
have a
me.
turn.
And
Okay, I know. Don't
Have a
reply
turn,
to what I'm
please.
saying. Just
all right,
'cause I will
I'm gonna
at
mute
least
for a
stop.
while and let you guys say whatever the fuck you want, and I'm just gonna mute.
Okay, that
right,
sounds like
go
a good
ahead.
Nurse's assistant just committed the genetic fallacy. It doesn't matter what the source of the point, where the source of the point came from. She's not addressing the point. It's fallacious.
All right. So then I guess I'll go ahead. Actually, Michael, did you want to say something or?
No, it just seems all sort of stupid to me, right? If you're looking for a truce from Godless rather, then you should stop antagonizing her from the fucking chat, right? If you're looking to have civil discussions in here, you're not going to get it if you're just in here starting shit all the time. It's just that easy.
All right, so then me now, since we're kind of civil here and we take turns, it's not the fact that you work so many hours. That I can commend, right? You went from a blue collar job to a white collar job, right? You could have been a janitor. I don't know what the fuck you could have been before you became a nurse. Like you could have been like working at a fucking retail or a fucking food joint. Yeah, but I commend you for going from going into a white collar job, even if you were to become a registered nurse, if that's what you are. The thing is that I find it disappointing, right, nurse, that you would stoop, that the way you carry yourself. It's not respectable. I imagine stuff way better than you. I imagine you to be more intelligent. White collar job instead of, I don't know, sniping from the text chat and actually standing up for yourself. That's what I find disappointing in you. That's why I think that's the main reason why kind of people resent you and people don't respect you as much as you want them to.
Yeah, but
You may
Pickle.
respond.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I want to say is I don't often get on the mic. I don't feel I need to get on the mic. So I type a lot more than I actually speak. So that's why I type my response. Then I don't get interrupted, and I'm not interrupting anybody that way. That's why I type a lot more than I speak.
Calm down.
Look, it's just this whole thing can be solved if you just stop antagonizing people from the text chat. I mean, you know you're going to get called out if you do that, right? You know you're going to get
You're
called
gonna
out.
criticize me on how I respond to things?
Yeah.
Well, no, if you antagonize people from the fucking text chat, you could just get called out for it. Look, if you're gonna just
You're
be a
assuming.
dick in the
Wait a
chat,
minute. You're
then
assuming that
that's
I'm the
okay.
only one that's antagonizing anybody in here.
Look,
You're missing.
all I've seen from you with regard to your content about Godless is antagonizing her
Yeah,
from
but
the
you're
text
missing
chat.
how it all started,
What
Michael. So
fuck-
you have no right to say it, to judge.
How did it
What
start? How
fucking-
did it start?
Yeah, you tell me. You now educate me on how it started.
Because she didn't like how I responded in a comment section in one of her videos. That's where it all started.
What happened was I didn't even know who this bitch was, and I made the welfare queen video, and she kept whining and whining about it in text, and she was so boring that I wasn't responding to her or really reading her messages. I just kept seeing that she tagged me over and over again, and I was completely ignoring it. And then one day she decided to come in here with her buddy Ben and attack me for an hour, which there's a video of, and I crushed the bowl.
got a
And
short
so that's
memory.
how it started. Are you denying that that's how it started?
No, it started long before now, welfare leech.
Before when I just said I didn't even know who
It
you
started
were.
long before I came back in here. Yeah, it did. You just don't remember.
Wait. So then you tell us, right? Obviously, you're not remembering it the same way Godless is telling it. So tell us what the fuck how this started.
I didn't even know you ever commented on one of my videos, unless you're talking about your comments.
How about the time you were in with Aaron Raw? Do you remember that? I was in the chat there too.
Oh, I didn't. I wouldn't pay attention to the chat when
I know you
talking
did.
about
Oh shit. Yeah, I know. I remember. Yeah. Okay. This doesn't work in your favor.
And there was
Pickle.
times before that too. There was times before that.
No. If
I've
you're
been
gonna use
around
that
for
to
like
get-
7
okay.
years on here.
Yeah, no, I remember you. I'm
Oh.
saying I remember specifically the conversation between her and Aaron Raw and you being in the chat because I was there for it.
Oh, and what do you
Right?
remember
But
about it?
You antagonizing her from the fucking chat. That's what I remember.
What do you remember about that? How? How, Michael? How? Just remember. Come on. Let's hear it.
You antagonizing her from the chat? Making fucking comments about you? Nothing substantive about her argument, but just about her character, right?
Do you have an
Even
example?
if
This
she
is what you
understood
fucking
my
do.
argument,
What did I say?
You know, she even-
What did I
We have it
say?
recorded, Pickle. We can just go look at the fucking text chat, which is recorded on
Okay.
YouTube.
Okay, go look.
Just making sure.
doesn't even understand what my position is when it comes to that.
Bring the video here. Bring, what's his name, Michael?
I'm in my van in the garage.
Oh,
with it
well,
running
when you
because
get
I'm
when you
waiting
get a
to close up.
chance, find the link, and I'll love to watch it.
And that you weren't
The evidence.
attacking me from the text chat?
I don't know. I don't know how badly I attacked
This
you. I
is
don't remember.
gonna
I
be
just remember you being in the
embarrassing for
video and I was
you.
making comments in there.
This is gonna be embarrassing for you.
I don't give a
No matter
fuck.
how bad it was, the point was, were you speaking negatively about me?
We will find out because we don't have the video yet. I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Everybody
yeah.
knows the video that we're talking about.
Until
I mean,
the evidence,
fucking
until you
DGH
provide
makes-
evidence, Michael, you can't say
DGH
shit. Provide the evidence.
DGH made a gif of Godless screaming at fucking Aaron from that video. I mean, it's really easy. Just type in Steve McRae, Aaron Raw. And it's like one of the first videos to pop up. And the text chat is streamed on it. That does you no fucking favors. I mean, all you fucking do, like I said, every bit of content you put out with regard to Godless is just antagonizing her.
No, it's not. Not always.
Yes.
It hasn't always been like that. No, it hasn't always been like that.
So
Okay.
is it a critique or something? What is it?
I don't
then?
even remember any interactions with you before the night with you and Vin.
Oh, we've had plenty of interaction there, Welfare Leech. We have. Trust me.
You remember me, and I have no idea who the fuck you are. I vaguely remember your avatar and Hangouts, but I don't
I
remember.
have different names I use online. I don't always use Fiction Fighter.
It doesn't matter. I don't remember your voice.
I don't always voice
You
up.
always
I
have the
told
same
you,
voice.
I'm a lot more on text than I am in voice.
In fucking text on a Hangout, unless you're talking about the live chat, which I don't look at.
Which is crazy, right? Because I mean, she's talking shit before the whole welfare video came out, right? That's what Steve McRae had Aaron Raw on before the lobster video came out. So I'm curious if she doesn't even fucking know who you are before this, right? Where's the beef, Fiction Fighter? What's the genesis of the beef?
She's probably jealous.
I think so too.
I'm not jealous in the least. I just know a lot. I pay attention to a lot. I've watched a lot of videos, okay?
Just fucking tell us why you don't like Godless. How did it start? Jesus Christ.
Why does it even fucking matter anymore?
Oh my
Okay,
god!
wait.
So then this turned into
Is that
pointless.
because you don't remember, or... I mean, you can't... It might not matter at all. It's just like, you know, you just not remember.
What's that, Pickle? I missed what
It
you
is
said.
hard to recall exact moments past in time, like what people were saying.
Yeah,
was
we're
the-
talking.
one that
We're
brought
talking
up
about
Aaron
7
Rodgers
years,
show.
Pickle. We're talking about 7 years
Yeah,
of being
that's why I'm
online.
saying, like,
Hangouts
you
for
don't
7. I've only
remember.
been on Hangouts for like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
Josh
me. I've
was
been
on-
around for
Josh-
7 years. I can't possibly memorize my every interaction with people. And who
So
and
if you
everything.
don't fucking remember, why don't you bury it? Jesus Christ. Like, it's clearly, it's just
Bury
a personal
what?
thing, right?
Bury what?
Bury your fucking hate for the woman. Stop sniping from the chat. Stop being a cunt. Stop going after her all the fucking time if you don't even remember what the fuck it's about.
You're hilarious.
Somebody needs to post that video.
You know what? I'm
You
just
think I
gonna let
even-
you guys talk amongst each other because I don't like it's interruption and shit. I'm just not into that. Okay, just go ahead.
So I have the link to the Aaron Raw video. So one thing, I've come across one thing so far that she said, when I was talking, she said, LOL, this is what happens when egos battle it out, LOL. But, I mean, Fiction, do you even claim to understand what my position is when it came to the Aaron Raw thing? Do you even understand the argument? I mean, can you even, like, restate it? Look, you can't even restate the argument because you don't understand it. Dumbass. Shut down again.
I did it at the time.
Look, it's really simple, right? If you don't remember why you started disliking Godless, right?
Yes, I do. I
Then
don't
there
like her
should be
personality. I do. Generally, I don't like her personality, how she talks to people, how condescending she is, like you're being right now.
Oh, yeah, same. But, like,
But then, do you understand that, I mean, it doesn't matter what you think of her. If you're just gonna attack her character from the sidelines, somebody's gonna say something to you.
And
Surely
do you
you
like being a
understand
white
that.
knight, Michael? Is that what your
no,
role
no,
is
no,
here?
Don't bring white knighting and stuff into this. He is right.
No,
I agree
like
with you.
I said, like I said, Godless doesn't need any fucking defense.
Then
It's
why are
just
you running to her
when
defense
you guys
now?
start talking to each other, it becomes almost unintelligible. Because
Then
you start
why are
shooting
you
at
running
each
to her
other.
defense now, Michael? If she doesn't
I'm
need
just
you,
wa-
why
no,
are you
I'm
doing it?
curious, right? I'm curious as to why you fucking dislike her. If the only reason is her fucking character, right? And she has friends in here. You should expect people to call you out on it.
No, I
when
don't
you're
get
just
bullied
making
into
character
doing what you want,
assassination from the
okay?
fucking
Number one.
text chat.
No, nobody bullies me to do what you want.
I'm not bullying
I'm
you.
making a point. I'm not to be bullied. I don't bow down to being bullied, okay?
I'm not bullying you? What have I said that you think is bullying?
Okay, may I just ask a couple things, if that's alright?
I don't think she understands what criticism is.
Well, no, just hold on, okay. So, Fiction, so you obviously have this, problem with Godless, right? So, and you say it's been going on for 7 years, but you say at the same time that you can't remember everything that may have started it because it was so long
She didn't
ago.
say it goes on for 7 years. She said she's been here for 7 years.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Welfare
Okay,
Eats hasn't
so-
been around for 7 years, no.
Okay, so how long has this been going on?
That and the fact doesn't matter, right?
Well, no, so I'm trying
Yeah,
to...
approximately 2 years is the,
Is the time? Okay.
yeah.
And so, did she...
It's just disappointment at this point, Fiction Fighter.
Okay.
Well, okay, no, just... So,
It really has nothing to do with
Okay,
Godless.
let Phil talk.
yeah, just
There's
let
no
me...
point
So,
interrupting.
so you had this beef with her for roughly, like, the 2 years or whatever. But, so, and you, if I recall, you say you don't exactly remember how it started, or... I'm trying to understand this.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember exactly the very moment when I decided I don't like the bitch.
So would you say that...
Oh,
Would just hold... yeah, I'm sorry. It's just... Would you say that at the point where you can't recall why you're so angry, but you are angry, would you say it would be better to just blow it off because you can't even remember yourself?
I'm not
I
angry.
mean, I'm pretty sure there's...
I'm not angry. It's like she's the one that's
Well,
angry.
obviously you have this
I
problem.
simply react to it. That's it.
Well, okay. So this idea that you have a reaction to whatever Godless is doing.
Yeah.
So is that insinuating that Godless started it, or... I don't... If you can't say you remember, then how can you say what the cause is? So how can you say if you're really reacting to it if you
it's
can't
not
remember
just any
who
one
started it?
thing, Pickle. It's not. It's not. It hasn't. It didn't start from
I'm-
any one thing. It wasn't just one point and that was it. That's not how I operate.
No, I'm. Can I,
Okay.
The first time I remember interacting with her was 2 weeks ago.
Okay, but okay. Well, that just might be memory, being memory. But
Okay, wait,
What I'm-
Pickle.
what I'm
wait,
saying
let,
here
let me
is if-
explain. Pickle, let me explain. Okay.
No,
I am
It wasn't
Phil,
just-
first of all.
That's Phil, not
What?
me. I'm Pickle.
What? Who am I speaking
Sorry
to?
if we sound the same. That's Phil. We're talking to Phil now. Okay.
Oh, all right. Sorry, Pickle. This is what I mean. Like when too many people talk and bounce on, like I can't fucking keep track.
It's okay. No problem.
So what you're saying is that because you can't keep track, it's still because you can't keep track of what the few points, one or more points that made you angry. You can justify staying angry because you don't remember them, but know that they remember
No,
that they
it's
vaguely
just-
happened.
Well, she did
Well,
bring up
it's
the
just
personality.
escalated when I came here. That's when it
Yeah,
got
right.
personal. When I came here.
Well, then why would you take it personally? I mean,
Why would who take what
at a base level,
personally?
it's just two people on the internet.
Slow
and you don't
down,
have to be
Fel.
friends.
Slow down. You're talking way too fast. Okay, listen.
Okay.
Start
I'm all
again.
ears.
Make your points. You know,
Okay.
without.
If you cannot remember where your problems originated from, right? And if you say it's just the personality,
Right. It started
will
out as
say-
a personality difference. Like not everybody gets
Then-
along with everybody, Fel. That's the way the world is. Not everybody
what I'm
is going to
saying
get
is-
along. Not everybody's going to love you. Not everybody's going to
if I
hate
may
you.
get my point across, I'm not saying that. In fact, I was saying the opposite of that. There are people that you just won't get along with,
That's right.
obviously, which is
And
what I was
she's
trying
one
to
of
say
them.
before.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is that in the past, if I recall correctly, if anybody has screenshots or anything, I do remember in debates you say things about her without directly confronting.
Excuse.
And
Whoa, you cut
that-
out. Stop. You cut out. Say it again.
okay, if I remember correctly, you have said things about Gigi in chat while not directly confronting her, while she may be in another argument with someone else.
And she's done the same, Fel. She's done the very same to me.
Okay, I guess I haven't seen that as much, so I can't really say that.
Exactly.
I've just seen. Well, okay, if you can find me an example of this, I will absolutely change
Oh,
my
for
position.
fuck's sakes. I got
But
more
at
to
the
do
same
in my life than
I don't
record every
deny-
goddamn time we've ever had it out.
I don't deny that attacked her first during the last 2 weeks, but it was all her that started it. I mean, she was making comments to me several times in text, and I was just ignoring them all. And then she came into voice and started attacking me about the welfare queen video. That's when I took her on. And after I kept humiliating her, she begged me for a truce, which now she claims is
Bullshit.
genuine. And I agreed. Excuse me, let me finish, please.
Oh, for
And I
fuck's
agreed
sakes.
to
I'm
the
done. I'm not talking to you. Fuck it.
Let me
Okay,
finish.
nurse, just
I
let her-
agreed to the truce, and I was being nice to her, and then AE was attacking me one night, and she joined in with him and started attacking me, so she broke the truce.
Okay.
The
I
other
got
thing too is,
screenshots.
the other thing too is, right? Like, if you're just to say that you're just reacting to how godless is in the chat, right? That's one thing, but it's at a point where it's just fucking disruptive, right? If you don't even remember the reason why you're mad at the girl, then just fucking bury the hatchet. Forget about it. Stop antagonizing her. But it's gotten to the point where any fucking time you're in the room, you're just sniping her from the fucking chat. She can't exist in the room without you fucking trying to rib her from the chat, be it text or voice.
What did
And
I
it's
lie about?
disruptive.
But she is constantly accusing me of lying, but she's never been able to say why.
This is what I'm talking about. This is just what she just did is exactly what I'm talking about. Fiction Fighter cannot be in the fucking room without just constantly talking about Gigi. It's ridiculous.
The
I mean,
majority of what she talks about is me, isn't she? Isn't it?
That's
Well,
all she is.
well,
That's
I
all she is.
think.
All the content she puts out is about you.
I mean, lately, yeah, that's all I've seen, to be honest.
Yeah.
Would it be? Well, no. I wouldn't. I don't even want to get to the fucking bottom of why you guys are having so much beef. I just want to say that, like, just fucking ignore each other. Like, learn to, like, learn to mutually exist in a way that doesn't, like, fucking have you guys just being retarded.
Okay, well, sorry
It
if
would
I've
be
been
one
interrupting
thing, right?
conversations and shit for this bitch. Sorry about that.
No,
Being
it's not
tolerant.
you. The thing is, right? It's one thing if it were just her going after Godless. But what she does is she makes comments about Godless to other fucking people. Right? She just runs around talking shit. And I mean, I don't think it's a reasonable expectation for Godless just to ignore her when that's what's going on. When Fiction Fighter's running around talking shit about her to everybody. It's like she's EF. It's like she won't engage. Honestly, she just talks shit. She ignores the important points. It'd go away really easy if Fiction Fighter just stopped fucking antagonizing from the chat.
I would say that creates unnecessary tension and, like, fucking. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree, Michael.
In summary, it's not criticism. It's not a critique. It's just talking shit, and it's not contributing to anything. Right? It's meaningless.
Yeah, just saying that because she's this way or that way, that's not really a critique on, like, the argument that you'd be making. I mean, isn't that like a fallacy to attack somebody, like, ad hominem or some bullshit?
Well,
It's
it's just
mostly
bad.
bullshit.
It's just bad form, right? Like, so the first time I talked to Fiction Fighter in years was in the text of Discord, and she was saying some bullshit about Godless, right? Who's a friend of mine. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is the point? You're not gonna make me like you if you're talking shit on somebody who I consider to be a friend.
Michael, how long ago
if you're
was
doing
that?
this with-
Was that? You're not talking about long ago, because it hasn't been going on forever. It only
No, it was
escalated.
probably a couple of weeks ago. maybe a week
Exactly.
ago.
It only escalated a couple weeks ago.
I thought you said you had
Yeah,
problems
but
with
that was the
Godless for a
first
while.
time that's the first.
Yes,
exactly.
but it never
that was the
blew
first
up like
time
it
that I
has
had-
now.
I'm sorry.
I was addressing Pickle. It didn't blow up until recently.
I'm
Yeah,
not
but
fucking
you've been doing
Pickle.
this. I mean, just your comments in the Aaron Raw and Steve McRae stream, right? There's evidence that you just won't quit. You just keep going at it. Godless fucking says she doesn't even know who you were before this shit, before the Welfare Queen video came out. You think she has some reason to lie about that? And if so,
Well, yeah,
what's
actually,
the
I thought
reason?
she was new to the server, and then once I searched for her name in here because I was looking through the comments for the when she was begging me for the truth, and she had like 300 something pages of comments in here, so I realized she's been here for a long time. So actually, I think that what might be going on here is she actually likes the attention that this is bringing to her. Maybe she never got like everybody just ignored her before, and now she's actually getting noticed.
Hey, fiction fighter.
Maybe. I think that's actually a pretty good theory that she's only attacking you because it gives her attention.
Is this like the idea that all press is good press or some bullshit?
Hey, fiction fighter.
Yo, Scarlet, kind of hear ya.
I just want to say that yesterday you or was it yesterday? You gave me some hard truth. You should probably listen to the people around you, like I listen to you.
What hard truth did she give you, Scarlett?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, she
What?
called me out on obsessing over John John, and she was right. I was being an ass, and I needed to stop, and I have stopped.
I have a high tolerance for John John.
I love John John.
I
So
love penis.
it would just be so weird, right? Because if she stopped fucking with Godless and just started participating in discussions and
You
stuff,
guys are acting like I
There
never
would
had a
be
discussion
no
with any
fucking-
of you. Like, holy
When was the
fuck.
last time you had a discussion?
Yeah, you
I've
suck.
had
You
discussions
suck,
in
Fiction
here,
Fighter.
okay, that did nothing to do
when?
with Godless or any of the problems between her and I. So don't fucking sit there and tell me I
Every
haven't.
fucking time. Every fucking time I've heard you
Bullshit.
open your mouth, it's been about Godless. Every fucking time.
Oh,
Are you
only
kidding me?
because she comes in here and starts shit, and then we get escalating shit.
No,
That's the only reason.
No, it doesn't work like
And
that.
Michael,
right?
and you're
don't
not
even
in here
remember the
24/7, so
reason
how
why
do
it
you
started.
fucking know?
Damn near.
Yeah, I'm in here a lot.
I'm usually just chilling here beating my meat.
And why would that matter? I don't need to be in here 24/7 to fucking make the conclusions that I've come to.
Yes, you would, because
Fuck.
you're saying
What the
every
fuck?
time, which is a
No.
lie.
Discord
Which is
saves
a
the shit
lie.
that you say in the chat.
Listen,
Because
God,
Goddess
you're
is not
fucking
the
stupid.
only person I've ever spoke to here.
Jesus Christ, you're fucking stupid.
Or
I'm
about.
telling you, the claim that I'm making, sister, is
Which
that
is a
every
lie.
time I've heard you open your fucking mouth, it's been
Lie.
about Godless.
Lie.
Every time I have heard you
Lie.
open your mouth, it's about Godless.
Bullshit.
I don't know how to counter the liar, liar, pants on fire argument.
Is that really an argument? That's just
Get stumped, bro.
Is the statement. You know, if she's just
Yeah,
gonna
bro.
dismiss what we have to say, then that's fine. But I mean, it would be good to take into consideration what we're saying.
Why don't you guys just just stop talking about me and just, she doesn't have anything to contribute. Now I can demonstrate this. Just try to have like an intelligent conversation with her about anything right now.
Yeah, we were
No,
trying to
'cause-
talk about objective morality with her the other day, and you got brought up. That's what's so frustrating. That's why I'm even commenting on this shit.
Why are you obsessed with me, nurse's assistant?
I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about.
It's
It's
jealousy.
just, it's just weird, right? Like, why? She was. I think she was making some like atheist 1.0 comment from the text chat, and I asked her why she was making those comments. And then either was I can't remember if it was in text or voice where she started going at you. It's just fuck, man.
I wasn't even here.
No, I don't think you were here.
I don't even know what you're fucking accusing me of.
Okay. Before you just,
Fuck.
we just had a conversation about this, Michael. Did we not? About how people just double down on what they believe without actually listening.
Oh yeah, this was like 30 minutes ago. Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we absolutely just had this conversation, and then I guess this is the idea
is
in
what-
motion.
Yeah, this is arrogant ignorance.
Well, you guys are acting like it's crazy, like her point of view. Like if I didn't know Godless, and if I
no,
was someone else,
Pickle.
I would definitely like call her out.
You heard me try and approach it from a rational way, and I was just dismissed immediately.
Well, yeah. But I'm more talking about like her reasoning behind it was just like an aura of dislike is probably what set it all off.
But that doesn't mean that you need to antagonize somebody in a text
Oh
chat.
no, definitely not. But that was like her reasoning for how it started. She didn't have like proof, but I mean like I've met people who I just generally don't like or don't vibe with. And if I was someone else, I would definitely not like how Godless talked to people. Like sometimes just yelling over them until they stop, just saying what. Just like earlier when she said, "Pickle, who's this guy? Who,
Yeah.
who."
So the thing about Godless is she doesn't get like that unless you're disrespectful to her.
Fuck off,
No,
Michael.
no, I
That's
didn't
bullshit.
think I was though.
You
I was
fucking
just trying
bullshitter.
Just hold on.
No,
Nurse.
well, I attack newbies, right? But once
Well,
they're
yeah.
up
No,
for a
you
while,
definitely-
Look, I like everybody. Fiction's the only person that I have a problem with that's been here for a while.
Here's the thing.
Do you
kept
like me?
asking who I... Oh, well, I'm still talking. Sorry.
I mean, I like you so hard, but you're new to me, so I mean.
Okay, Godless, here's the thing. Though. You attacked me, not attacked me, sorry. You were just saying who's Pickle. You've done that to me about 4 times now, and you still don't remember me. I vividly remember, it probably, if you guys have recordings, I don't know when exactly, it's just like the past couple months. Sometimes Godless has come up and I've said something in an argument, and then she says, exactly, who the fuck is this Pickle guy? Just like she did today. And so yeah, that's kind of where that dislike-ish might come from my point of view, but I don't care. I'll just drop it because, yeah, I'm just some random guy on Discord who's speaking up against someone you're fighting against. So
there you go.
That's it.
That's taking banter into account. I mean, that's nothing new here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're being moderated by somebody that you don't know about a personal conversation, I'm sure you would probably feel the same way. You know what I mean?
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Sorry, well, my point was that, like, the way Godless talks to people is that she had talked to me that way and doesn't even remember it, because today she acted like she'd never seen me before. My name has been the same this whole time, but I figured she might have remembered last time, unless she talks that way to so many people that she can't
I do.
control.
I attack almost every new person that comes in here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
like,
cool. It just, like, that would come off as who you are, though, and that is where dislike can stem from.
Yeah, don't take it personally because, right?
Oh,
like, I mean, you've been here enough to know that we get like 20 new people a day who come
Oh,
in.
definitely, yeah, and everybody has their kind of hot seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not the only one that attacks new people, right? Part of doing that is we're creating a filter so that only thick-skinned people can survive in the server.
Yeah, I get it, but it's more the tactic you use is overpowering by volume, and it's not really like conversation based. It's more yelling, and that's
Exactly,
where
Pickle. You
I
are
get.
absolutely
That's
right.
It's just from an observer's point of view and a victim, I might say so. And I don't have a problem with it. Again, I'm literally just sitting here listening. But that's just what I've observed, and that is... Yeah, I know you're not saying that you don't do that, it's just... That's where it is, I'm guessing.
I'll be right back.
I feel like that's a fair assumption for where this whole argument and everything that's been going on.
So what you're saying is that it's Godless's the way that she argues and the way that she is.
No, just the way it can come off to new people, and through repetition of hearing her the same way, would build a personality figure, because I've never met her. It's just, I can kind of guess who she is by the things she says on Discord. Again, like, literally, maybe 20% of who you actually are, I don't know. But I'm saying, like, I haven't had a lot of good things to work with yet, because when I do hear her, she is flaming or yelling at someone, instead of approaching something calmly. So that's why I'm saying, you know, the nurse couldn't have, or Fiction wasn't doing a great job at saying that, but I'm pretty sure that's what she meant this whole time.
Well, I would say that if she has this opinion, then she should probably once again stay out of the text chat and actually come out here, because we're here to talk. And
that's part of Gigi's persona. That's who Gigi is. So she comes in hard and she goes people, and if you don't have thick skin, you won't make it here.
But all I'm saying is,
I mean, I have had to grow thick skin.
No, I get it. Yeah,
everybody all I'm saying is everybody who's been here a lot for a significant amount of time, I like them all except for Fiction Fighter.
where does that stem from?
I mean, like, you want me to explain the psychology behind it? Like, my fucked up childhood?
Does it stem from her original dislike to you, or is it from a different reason? From how she's acted towards you?
Fiction, I thought that Fiction was new when she was making all these comments in the text chat about my welfare queen video, and I actually ignored her. It was one day when her and Vin came in screaming about they were so outraged about my welfare queen video, and somebody messaged me and told me, oh, more people are talking about your welfare queen video again. Come in, and that's the first real encounter I remember with her.
So my opinion is what bothered you. Is that what got you hate me then? Is that what you're admitting to here? So how does that show you got thick skin if you can't even handle my opinion or someone else's opinion?
What is your opinion?
Fiction. You attacking me about the welfare queen video, I thought it was funny. Okay, I wasn't angry about that. Look, like Rue, I really ended up liking Rue, and he.
Then why the hate? Why the seriousness against me then?
I'm gonna tell you. Let me finish,
all right.
Please. Look, I don't care if people attack me about the welfare queen video. That's why I fucking made the videos so people would attack me about it. What really pissed me off and made you my enemy forever is when you fucking broke when I didn't want to be a bitch and I gave in and I was being a softie to your fucking truce, and then you broke the truce.
So there was like an official truce? Like...
No, there wasn't. That's the point. It wasn't even a genuine truce request.
I can post the screenshot. Look,
I'm not Pickle. I am Phil.
That's Phil.
It's sorry, Phil. I just see Pickle lighting up, and I'm hearing Pickle or the Phil's voice. That's why I'm getting confused.
She claims it wasn't genuine, but I mean, I can post a screenshot. So
why can't you take my word for it? I called you leech in the request that you keep posting. See? So leech, can we have a truce yet? Obviously, I'm not being serious, am I?
Yeah, stop yelling because you just
don't raise your voice. It's gonna like cause friction and a bump.
I have to yell because people keep cutting me off.
Well, you cut her off initially. Just let her finish real quick.
Yeah, well, I mean, Michael just posted part of it, right? So she can claim it's not genuine, whatever. Maybe it really wasn't genuine. But I agreed to it, and I was being nice to her, and then she went and broke the truce. And later I was posting the screenshots and making fun of her for having begged, and she went back and erased the messages, trying to cover her tracks.
So I trolled you, and you didn't like it. I trolled you, welfare leech. I trolled you. Can you not fucking admit that?
Okay, well then that's the problem then. You asked for the truce and I believed you, and you broke the truce even if it was never real. That was my perception of it, and that's why you're my fucking enemy now.
I trolled the troll, and that's why. That's what got you.
Don't just go to the childish stuff. Okay. Hold on. So, are you saying that there was never truce to begin with, Fiction?
No, there was not.
The entire time.
Not in my understanding, there wasn't. Nope.
How could you lie, bitch?
I don't understand why you'd want to meme something like that, but okay.
Because I want to troll her because she boasts about how much she trolls everybody. So I wanted to give her a little bit of her own medicine.
But listen here, it's gotten to the point where it's now a disturbance basically on the server. So would you say that you would be able to come to an agreement where you could maybe tone it down a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, sit down, bitch.
Okay, well don't move into that.
Well, I'm very confused on how if this is gonna get any resolution ever.
Are both of you ready to just drop it, or what?
Who's asking me now?
If she apologizes.
Is it that hard to apologize?
Yeah, I mean...
Apologize for what?
There were statements said back and forth. What if you both apologize?
Yeah, I think both of us should apologize. It's just not all on me.
Because she was...
It took both of us to keep this going, did it not? It's not just all on me.
And you have to stop lying and admit that you erased those messages. They didn't just fucking, a fairy came and made them disappear.
I didn't erase them because I also videotaped them, or I videoed them, and I'll upload the video. So obviously I did not erase them. Why would I do that? Why would I erase them and then upload the evidence? Why that's stupid, isn't it?
You uploaded a video to a YouTube channel that had no subscribers.
So what? I posted the video in here to show that I did comment them, and I'm not denying that I did.
And I never said that you're denying that you fucking... I have screenshots. Obviously, you're not denying them, but originally you wanted to cover up that you had ever said it because you went back and erased them. You're just too stupid to erase them all.
No, I think somebody else erased them, and then you come up and claim that I did, and I did not erase them.
I have screenshots. Where are those messages? Why aren't they here anymore?
I know. I looked myself to see why they're not there. I don't know. I can't explain that.
Oh, so a fairy sprinkled pixie dust and they disappeared.
I don't know.
Okay. So obviously some shit's been going on. So what are you trying to get her to admit again? Godless.
She tried to cover her tracks that she begged me for a truce and erased messages.
Well, she already said that she doesn't deny getting rid of messages, right?
What? I don't
She
deny
doesn't
what.
deny that she says that she asked me for a truce and it wasn't genuine. She admits to that, even though she's claiming it, she's lying and saying it wasn't genuine, which I think it was.
No, it wasn't because I
And
called you leech, didn't
and
I?
she erased those messages and she won't admit that she erased them. They no longer exist in the history of the Krillism's history. Why? Where did those messages go? I have the screenshots of them, so I can prove that they existed at one time. Why do they not exist now?
Well, that's a that remains a mystery between you and I, for both of us, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Because I sure as hell didn't erase them. I don't remember. I don't recall erasing them. So.
A fairy did it.
I don't erase my comments. I never have.
So okay. So at this point, would you say, Fiction Fighter? Would you say that you would be able to drop this?
Drop what? Exactly. Be very specific. Drop what specifically?
Would you say that you would be able to drop your beef with Godless and maybe not, like, if you guys are gonna get into fucking, like, tussles, maybe not make it this big and like, at this point, it's getting a little ridiculous because now all this shit's happening.
Hey, we could always just make a separate channel specifically for Godless and Fiction, and then whenever they start doing shit like that, just shove them in there.
Why the fuck would I go to a server just for her? I'm here for everybody else, not her.
Well, you tried.
Then interact with everybody else, and not each other.
I do.
Yeah, then why don't you guys just drop it and just maybe not put as much emphasis on each other, right? Now, I'm not gonna say whether who puts more emphasis on the other, but I'm gonna say that if we just, just a little more ignorance towards each other,
that would be lovely.
Might be better.
Yep.
Maybe they should just get it out of the system.
Well, yeah, that's the idea, right? So, but then they're so belligerent. Each one is so belligerent in their views that it's never gonna stop.
Hey, fuck you, don't insult them.
Maybe we're just too much alike. Fuck, I should have
One
that.
of them's gonna back down.
Well, right, that might take forever, right? So.
Okay, well here, this is what I'll agree to. I won't comment on her personally. Like if she jumps in a fucking argument and makes some dumb comment, I'll respond to her argument. She doesn't really comment on the content of our conversations anyway. She just fucking talks about people. I won't say anything to her personally again. I'm going to bed, and so you guys are my witness. I promise you, I guarantee you, she will say shit again, and then I'll fucking screenshot it, and that's the end of that. And then I'm just gonna go back to attacking her.
If you don't give me a reason, then I won't fucking do it.
What do you mean? A reason for what?
So no, she shouldn't say anything else at this point. Both of us are done. Just don't say anything else.
Okay.
Alright, good job, guys.
Okay. Okay. Alright, so just.
You guys are all a bunch of cookie cutters.
What do you mean? Who? Where?
You.
Am I? I was just trying to fucking keep things civil.
And then Tom comes and
Yeah,
stirs the pot once again, eh, Tom?
Oh, Tom's here.
What, by saying you guys are all a bunch of cookie cutters?
Everybody in here? Every single person here?
Everybody here.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah.
No one's special.
Well, that's funny. I've always been told I'm unique ever since I was born.
I tell everybody that.
That's a lie. That's false.
Well, I'd like to believe it. No, but no one person is the same.
Oh yeah, you're the main character of your own story.
Sure. Well, slap yourselves on the back, guys. Pickle and Phil, is it?
I mean, man.
Now we can all carry on as before.
I mean, not to be that guy, but I'd say I'd give it 4 days.
I think that's logical.
I never start anything, so yeah, we'll see.
I just hope that it can.
I'm sorry, like, I really want to like both of you, but you guys don't have a lot of self-control. I don't know about Godless. I know Fiction Fighter doesn't have a lot of self-control, and I don't know about Godless.
I thought you were talking about me for a second. I was like, what?
No,
Well,
you
I'll
have
speak
an
for
insane
my-
amount of self-control.
I'll speak for myself, Scarlett. There's a lot of things you guys don't know about Fiction Fighter here. And I have a past just like everybody else, and I've been influenced just like everybody else by various things. So when I get, what the lack of a better word right at this point, triggered, or when I get my sights on someone, it's not for no reason. Okay, I'm just like everybody else. It's not for no reason.
I never
So-
claimed that.
Yeah, well, that's not what we're saying.
I know.
I'm just
but I'm
saying
just
that
stating.
you
I
don't
didn't say anybody accused anybody. I just said I'm stating a fact about me. Something you now have learned a little bit about. Very little bit. Because I don't think anybody
Okay.
here really truly can sit there and say they know me very well at all.
Well, I mean, how many of us can say that about each other in Krillism? I mean, I'm sure a few people, but on the whole,
There's a few that have known each other intimately and have lots of intimate talks. So it's like,
All
I-
I can know is how you conduct yourself online.
but yeah, that's all
I'm
you can.
capable of knowing.
right. Well,
Because you
now
can't
what-
really just, like, you can't justify the way that you act from your past if nobody knows your past, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I have lots of reasons why I react to certain things the way I do.
Well, I'm sure that you do, and I'm not, like, discounting that at all, but
And
like,
I know,
if
but
you
I'm
bring
not
it into
finished.
it.
I want to explain something else.
Oh, okay.
I live a life in professionalism where I have to control every cue and everything I do, okay? So in my personal life, in my spare time, such as coming onto Krillism or anywhere online, I'm not, limited by my professionalism anymore, am I? So it's like I'm just being me without any restrictions on my character in person.
Right.
So I don't come here to be a professional. Okay? Nothing is, ruling over me here. Nothing is ruling over you. You guys are doing and choosing to be whatever you want to be online, right?
I mean, sure.
Okay. So the same applies to me. I come here to be free and speak my mind and, do what I want to do and say what I want to do. And, I don't judge anybody for being the way they want to be.
Alright, I mean, that's fair. I mean,
Fair enough? Yeah. Thank you.
I would say that I could go on for a while about what did I say? It was geoconism, but like, I mean, that would just be me.
But I don't go off and hate anybody for no goddamn reason. I will state that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have, and like, we're not saying you don't have reasons. I mean, obviously, you have deep-seated reasons for whatever things going on.
Right. As long as y'all understand that. I understand
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I think that
When I listen to all you guys, I always keep that in the back of my head. Guys and girls. But yeah, this was a productive chat, I think.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I think it cleared up. I mean, it may have cleared up some issues. I'm not really sure if it did, considering that nothing was really.
For tonight.
And I don't know how many people are here.
27
Does
people.
anybody know if Bitcoin crashed over like on Monday when it was supposed to?
Huh.
I have no idea, sir. What was supposed to happen? Just supposed to crash?
It was supposed to crash. It was pretty high, and then it was supposed to just dip. I mean, those were a lot of the predictions that I was hearing.
So where is that AE guy anyhow? He was in chat.
I'm sorry?
AE.
I don't know. He's not joining the chat.
But he was
I'm-
saying
I'll-
stuff in the text.
Yeah, he's in text chat, but he wasn't joined in this chat at all. So I don't know. I mean, I tried to get him to come in here because obviously he was trying to support you from text chat, but he can't really do that if he's not here.
Well, I know. I was hoping he would
But
might
I don't
come
know.
too. Because he's
Yeah,
one.
I don't know.
He's one guy that actually kind of understands me. And he's not the only one. There's plenty that understand me in here.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are people that are gonna understand you. But do you see where we're coming from here? Where you say I have reasons to justify what I do.
Yeah, but Phil,
But
I think where I struggle is maybe I'm not perfect and I don't always perfectly express myself correctly. So sometimes people like Pickle and AE and Krill and some of the people that have shown some understanding, and Molly, I will give her understanding as well. Like there's certain people in here that help me express that where I have trouble expressing it accurately. I do.
Okay,
that is a challenge I have. I do have that challenge.
Okay, I think I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I get overwhelmed with. I mean, I have my thing, like everybody else. I never ever claim to be perfect. And Pickle, you might have to refresh because you're lighting up.
Oh, sorry.
Hear ya. What? You trying to talk, Pickle? You might have to press S5. Sometimes that is a glitch where you can't hear you. So is anybody else wanting to chat here, or what's going on?
Hey, Phil.
Hello.
Why is your name Phil?
I think I talked about this with someone, but I just kind of pulled it out of my ass. But I'm pretty sure I got it from a Hearthstone card.
Ah. Okay, 'cause I'm playing WoW, and I was like,
Yeah, I think the card Fell Reaver I think that's where I got the original idea from.
Yeah. Sounds dank. Probably was just a big ass robot.
Yeah, I never really got into like WoW.
Yeah, I started playing when I was in like 7th grade. Damn.
Isn't it like dying out at this point? Like, aren't they getting less and less people joining up?
Yeah, they went on a small decline, but now they're rising again. It's like, still like 8, 9 million.
That's still
They don't
good,
display
right?
their numbers anymore though. Yeah, that's pretty good it's great for an MMO.
I would ask. I remember one of the big controversies was with WoW is that they started shutting down like private servers, like personal servers.
Oh yeah, see there was never any like legal document as far as I know that said that other people could use the source code for the game and create their own servers. So Blizzard just let them keep going with the ability to shut them down whenever. But since they weren't causing any harm, they were fine with that. Then someone pitched the idea for bringing Classic back to World of Warcraft, so they started kind of poaching vanilla Classic servers. Because you could play for free, you don't have to pay for game time.
Right.
But now they're thinking about bringing it back with like a reduced monthly cost. So basically old vanilla from 13 years ago now, will be back, I guess. So a lot of people said they're looking forward to playing it. Meanwhile, retail WoW, you can buy game time, either for $15 or 170,000 gold.
Oh, I see. So it's kind of like the RuneScape way of doing things in terms of like bonds and.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's like a working economy. Pretty sure a couple years ago, the WoW 1 gold in WoW outweighed a bolivar from Venezuela. Their form of a dollar was cheaper than gold in World of Warcraft. So, and in this game, money is infinitely spawning. They were still able to keep an economy going. Ridiculous.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I know. Like I got into Hearthstone. I don't know. I just like the way that the name sounds. Like you say it. It's like.
Yeah.
So how long have you like been here, Pickle? Like.
4 months? Maybe like 3 months.
Yeah, I'd say
4.
Yeah, I've been around about the same time. Like I didn't really get into really like Krillism until pretty recently, like actually gotten into it. Like I've lurked around, I've listened to people, I've like watched the. I mean, absolutely. When I first got here, I tried to have some big debate. I think Tom actually fucking destroyed me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was open to learning, so
Yeah,
that's I
same.
think.
So I never really went through that scary process of what's going on.
Well, there's always time.
Very open-minded. I always talked about like philosophy and stuff when I was much younger in like middle school. It's a lot
Keep
easier to get
bringing
along with.
attention to it. Tom is gonna actually put you through it. So.
Well, he tried a while ago. I just it was something crazy.
So you just wait.
He
Okay.
told me the White Knight and all that jazz. I just kind of agreed with him because I don't want to cause any friction here. But trust me, I'm not offended by anything. I'm very open to everything people were talking about here. I just don't like when everyone fights and goes off topic. And because I tried to stop that, I got the White Knight nickname one day. I don't know. Don't really mind.
What's
Just
the
here to
White
listen
Knight
mainly
mean?
and sometimes contribute. Oh, what?
Yeah. So okay, so you got through the process by doing the French diplomatic way of getting through any kind of like friction. You just agreed with him.
Well, I mean, I'm not done. I already observed how he did it to other people, and I just wasn't in the mood, I guess.
Good. All right. I mean, okay.
What I'm saying, like, I had all the questions asked me. I told him I was like very open. They asked me like, oh, my views and stuff. It was all a good time. It's like a little bit of arguing and interrupting because like a little bit of word twisting that goes on. It was all in good fun. Because sometimes you can't answer, or sometimes you don't answer something that like perfectly, so no one can move any of your words around against you, or yeah. The same way when the nurse asked for her name to be back to fiction, and then you guys took it as, what, are you ashamed to be a nurse's assistant? It's like, no, she wasn't really implying that at all. I mean, that may or may not be the case, but she was just trying to get her name back. So, that level of word twisting. So,
Okay. Anybody have anything they want to talk about? Like, Hey, wait, Wody, are you in here? Oh yeah. Okay. So Woody's here. I don't know if Gon is still here. He might not be. Okay. Well, they heard my idea about. Can I talk to you guys about geoconism?
go ahead.
Alright, so everyone knows, right, clearly that the Earth is very flat, right? This is a widely accepted belief, and it's obviously true. No, geoconism, right? Alright, just hear me out here. So obviously the Earth is flat, right? Everybody knows that. It's obviously a clear fact. Yes, alright, listen, just bear with me here. No. So, listen, perhaps, no, just listen, just give me a chance here. So, I thought, well, the Earth isn't really flat, obviously, because that's retarded. Like, no one would actually go for the Earth is flat. And the more I thought about it, the more I understood. The Earth is not merely flat. It's not just like a flat surface. It happens to be the flat surface of the base of a cone in space, okay? And when I was really thinking about it, you look at all the stars and all the planets in the sky, and they're just disks up there in the sky that happen to be facing the right way at you, right?
Yeah.
And so, and the sun, all stars are a disk, therefore the sun at the center of our solar system is a disk. And have you ever spun a penny on like a table?
Yeah.
basically, the sun spins like a pennyweight on a table, and it drags the Earth with it on this weird, like if you've ever tried to roll a cone, it rolls in this weird kind of circular motion. And that's what the Earth is instead of an orbit. It's not really orbiting, it's just being pulled by the motion of this disk. And you might ask, well, why does it have to be a cone shape, right? Like, obviously that's a pretty arbitrary shape. Well, at the tip of the, on the other end of the cone, there's a 17th dimensional being that's constantly excreting more of our planet, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, of course. And so, I'm saying that just the side that you happen to be looking at is like, I'm saying that the Earth, the sun is still the sun, but it's just a disk. It's not really a sphere, you see. And so, okay. So, you know the expression, you can dig a hole through the planet and get to China, right? Like,
Of course.
well, you can't really do that, because if you try to dig all the way down to the center of the cone, you just end up in space. And you'd be in space, because only the flat disk has an atmosphere. And that's why when you go down into a cave, right, you receive less and less oxygen, because there's less atmosphere the farther down you go. Okay. Yes. No, but just listen here. I can also, I've extrapolated all this evidence from historical and scientific things in the past. No, I can't. I absolutely can. But it's still interesting to talk about. So, does anybody? Yeah, I can't keep a straight face while saying this bullshit. No, because I'm not that kind of character. But let's just. I want to give this to somebody else because they could make this work, and it's fucking brilliant. So, have you heard the biblical tale of the story of Babel? Right? Man tried to build a tower to heaven, right? And God was like, no. That's basically the story. And then they're like, that's bad. Yes. And well, what really happened is that these people were trying to build a tower close enough to the edge of the disk and make the tower tall enough that they could see God. They wanted to see the 17th dimensional being excreting our planet. Okay?
Okay.
And the entirety of the fact that the Tower of Babel fell and that the people forgot how to talk to each other is actually just that there happened to be an earthquake at the time, and that they just had a mass amnesia. Like it just happens, man. Like an unfortunate series of events.
Just a mass amnesia.
Yeah. Like it just happens. There's probably something in the air. They probably got too much like stone dust in their fucking lungs or some shit, like their brains, from building the tower to begin with. Another good example of this idea is that in Greek mythology, like the great epic of like the Odyssey, right? This has Odysseus sailing around this area, which theoretically is in the Mediterranean Sea, right? Just hanging out by Rome and Greece. But in reality, it's him trying to circumnavigate the flat space where it is. And these ideas where he has run-ins with these gods are just the remnants back in time of more otherworldly, like other dimensional objects or beings that maybe are not as great as the one that is excreting our planet. Might I also preface the fact that the planet is actually 17 quintillion years old. Like that must be explained. I guess I should have said that in the beginning. 17 quintillion. So, like I said, this isn't a fully fleshed out idea yet. This is just like a shell of something that I'm coming up with here. I've only had 2 days to think of this. And so, this basically shows how he's trying to get home, but he doesn't understand that the world is actually just a circle and not a fucking like any kind of navigatable area, right? Another good example is that the idea that the farther you go down into the earth, the more pressure that there is, right? There's this idea that, you know, cave-ins and things happen from pressure. Like, there are mines that are miles and miles below the but a lot of the times they're very unstable and have cave-ins. For example, in like South Africa, where they're trying to create, you know, diamond mines, gold mines, what have you. That actually comes from the fact that they're getting farther and farther away from this atmosphere and this sense of gravity. That their shafts are actually just not able to be structurally sound because of the lack. Right? Yes. Listen, add it to the fucking quote. You can't just quote me, because that's gonna be there forever. It's very embarrassing. Yes, obviously, they're shafts. It's very important to talk about the shafts here. It's a really good example. It's a really good example of how only the bottom of the excrement has gravity. Okay? It's a very important idea because can you imagine you were taking a shit, right? Just a constant, just taking a shit forever, right? In one spot. You were stuck in one spot taking a shit for whatever reason. It would pile up in this way, but eventually the most bottom part of the shit would harden, right? And that's basically what the round disc on our planet is. It's just very hard 17th dimensional excrement that is so dense that it is able to keep an atmosphere. And that's why people cannot live on this rounded face of this cone. It's because not only is there no atmosphere, but it is so radioactive from being in the 17th dimension and coming down to ours. Like, the idea of how lava and magma has its own radioactivity. Like, it's not fully cooled yet. And therefore you cannot go near it without fucking dying. Right? And so the idea that, and it's not just our planet, right? We're not the only planet in the solar system and or in the universe, you know. You're probably asking me if I haven't addressed these other planets, these other celestial bodies. Listen here. You said keep going, Michael. This is what you get. And yeah, so these other celestial bodies are not only, see, things like Saturn, right, that are obviously not able to sustain life, that are very interesting but kind of weird. They actually, the more strange the planet is, more uninhabitable, the less likely that it is, like the higher the dimension of the being shitting out the planet is. Do you understand what I'm saying? But do you see what I'm saying here? So, like, for example, a planet like Saturn, right? It's very strange compared to our Earth. It's not habitable. It's got some very strange laws compared to our planet. That may be like a 47th dimension, like being shitting that out, right? And of course, this means that each of the shits are being filtered and pressed through all the dimensions because we couldn't comprehend the 17th dimensional shit, right? No, they were
trying
like,
to say that you're full of shit.
No, I'm saying that everything in the universe is shit, except the beings that are creating the shit, which we cannot comprehend because they exist in a higher dimension than us. But not only does this explain all of our laws for physics and gravity, it also, well, what to them would be shit, but to us is like stuff. It's like you throw away a fucking, you throw away a bike tire and someone can make an inner tube out of it, you know what I mean? No, it's the beings coming from the dimensions that are excreting. Listen, this sounds a lot worse now that I'm saying it in, no. Just not only does, yes, 17 cc. I'm tired, I'm trying to have a little bit of fun. Yeah, just leave me, like, so, okay, no, but what you're not getting here is this, not only does this, explain every law of our universe, like, in physics, and in any kind of natural science, it also explains any kind of religious context. Because, for example, in the idea of Hinduism, right, there's more than one god, there's many. That is merely the glimpse that people have had from another planet of their dimensional being and representing it as a god. Alright? Shut up. Listen,
Why did I unmute this guy?
because I'm a good boy, Ratson.
Ranson, you got banned from Debate Coliseum?
Yeah, I went in there and we triggered Justin too hard.
You see, I don't normally have this kind of, I don't normally spout off this autism all the time, but I just had a really good idea. Okay, and I felt like I had to share it. Like, you know how Nikola Tesla, he was like, oh man, I have all these crazy ideas, and they're really good, but too bad he got fucking murdered by